It's been a long time since I've had to write a cover letter. And I'll happily admit that it's not something I'm particularly good at. My brain kind of goes into hyperdrive trying to figure out how to cram the 5 million amazing and important things there are to communicate about myself to a prospective employer into a single page. And it's not just the content, it's also the structure. For example, do I lead with how I'm incredibly driven, disciplined, and hardworking? Or does that go towards the end of my letter? And instead, should I launch with my relevant experience and skill set, which will easily translate to a new workplace? So no, I haven't written a cover letter in like 5 years. But something I have written recently, just last week actually, is a script for a social media video. Doing that gives me no issues at all. You see, I approach this content creation format like a confused traveller who's ended up at the wrong hotel, without reservation. So about 6 months ago, in an effort to reinvigorate an old electronic music project of mine that in 2015 saw mild success, or depending on who you ask, their motive and how they want to frame it, cult critical acclaim, I fired up my 5-year dormant Instagram account and posted a video I made about how I think it's weird that Madonna released an album produced almost entirely by a relatively unknown and unproven French house producer, and how, even weirder, the project spawned some of Madonna's strangest and most successful hits.
Hey, Mr. DJ, put a record on, I wanna dance with my baby.
Now this vertical video was 50% me attempting to find someone who would finally listen to me talk about something I'd been thinking about for like 15 years. Strangely, none of my friends really ever wanted to discuss Madonna's 2 albums with Mirwais Ahmadzai. And 50% trying to get some eyeballs back on my previously defunct musical project. I had some old tracks I was planning to release, and I thought that I could spruik up some interest online with a few thoughtful PTCs. Pieces to camera. But what I didn't expect was that making the video would be 100% fun. And I relish in the opportunity to point out that that makes a total percentage count of 200, which is an achievement that no other content creator had ever achieved up until that point or has done since. And the learnings didn't end there. In true social-friendly, easy-to-digest list form, I'd like to provide the top 3 additional learning outcomes from my foray into being a content creator. Number 1, that talking about Madonna on Instagram and TikTok isn't exactly the most efficient way to funnel 90s rave enthusiasts to your Spotify artist profile. Number 2, I loved the process of documenting, filming, performing, and editing my niche perspective on this subject matter. And number 3, it turns out that just because my friends aren't interested in my thoughts on Madonna doesn't mean everyone else feels that way. This video got about 80,000 views on TikTok and Instagram respectively. I suddenly found myself having to turn off notifications for both of these apps because my phone wouldn't stop lighting up. Now, my whole life I've been drawn to making things, specifically media and art, music, video, podcasts, live streams, websites, memes, and